Hi, guys. Welcome to Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. Thank you so much for joining us. What? Are you up? Oh, fuck. Go ahead. We change it up now. Mike's trying to change shit since Ben's gone. Okay, go. Fucker.
All annoyed at you.
No, we're just going to leave.
No, I'm not leaving that in there.
Welcome to Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a show where we talk about faith, uncomfortable conversations, and mental health. Jason, what in the world are we doing today?
So we're recording episode 172 with Zane, and he's been on the show before with a different host, so that's fun. And
you got to say with Ben. You got to say
Ben.
with Ben because then, people get pissed. When
Do they?
Don't. Yeah.
When you don't name them?
Right. I
Okay.
know like on my old show when they would like treat me like Lord Voldemort.
Oh, and just not say it?
Then it would make me very upset.
Okay. Well, we know Ben listens, so sorry, Ben.
He does listen?
Oh, I'm sure.
I hope so. He helped build it. It's just too
Yeah.
bad it got off the rails, but
Yeah.
not to dig up old bones, but
No, it's okay.
What episode was I with you in? It could have been more than 40, 50 episodes in, right?
Yeah, it was early. I mean, we had a table with a red tablecloth. It was tiny.
Yeah.
I bet it was less than episode 50.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I looked back and I think it was like 25 and then 52.
Oh, he was on our show twice?
Yeah.
In studio?
Well, I think you were on his, but so I think it was 25 that he was here.
Maybe we repurposed
Yeah,
the
you might
audio.
have published it.
Yeah,
On your end.
could have been. But anyway, so I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, man.
I'm having a ton of fun with Mike. It's kind of a breath of fresh air.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to be here. I'm surprised I made it because this is remarkable. I go, oh, good. I've got 10 minutes to get to the other side of town in Jenison.
Yeah.
And then I go, wait a minute. It says here Granville. I go, oh, must have moved. I don't know why I was thinking that. And then I was texting you. I was like, what am I doing? This is a 20-minute drive. I'm so sorry.
And I know you're kind of a hermit now, and you get excited when you go to Meyer.
I so do. Oh my God, it's awesome.
You were probably like, oh, I'll record in studio. I'm
seriously looking forward to this. I was a little disappointed though because your dogs are just evil. Oh my God.
They are assholes.
You walk into the house and I'm like, oh, good. I love dogs so much. And they're like, yeah, we're going to kill you.
Yeah. Yes. They've bitten him before. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Little dogs
Sure.
are
Little
kind of
ferocious.
They're jerks.
Ferocious little dogs. Oh, anyway.
So speaking of really bad dogs, let's do some trivia.
Nice tie-in.
I know.
That was terrible.
So is he referring to you as a bad dog there? Is that
I don't know. Please clarify.
I'm not going to clarify that. I'm just going to let that stand however it stands.
He does it for everything. And speaking of phones, let's do trivia.
It's actually become my favorite thing to do to Jason is do these really rough transitions.
Sometimes he nails them, but
Okay, good.
Sometimes there's no good transition, so you might as well make it bad.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be good since Jason has lost quite a bit in trivia. You guys should battle in trivia. So I'm going to read some questions. They're mostly from the 1990s, which is a long time ago now. And you are going to call in your name when you think you have that, and then we'll see who wins. Apparently, I'm supposed to try to keep better score this time.
yeah, because the guest always wins for some reason, which is bullshit. You're actually going to write it down? Do you need a piece of paper?
Yeah, I need a piece of paper. I'm really prepared right now.
Well, that was the worst piece of Hold on. This is what I gave him.
I know it.
This is going off the rails real quick.
Oh, I cut all this shit out.
No, don't. Leave it all in. Leave it all in awkward.
There you go.
Okay.
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 90s trivia. So mid-90s, you were... Whoa, how many kids?
Well,
Did you have both
in my
kids?
mid-20s. Yes, I did. My son was born in 95.
Mine was born in 96, but I wasn't in my mid-20s.
Okay.
So
you were younger.
I was younger.
Really?
I'm 46, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
even though Jason looks older, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The homeless beard.
Yes. Okay, let's go with the first question. The Dream Team won the Olympic gold in what year?
Okay. 1992.
Boom. Got it.
Oh, one.
Dude has a lot of pop culture.
What fashion accessory was invented by a high school shop teacher?
Jason, the banana clip?
Nope.
I don't know.
The slap bracelet.
Back.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
What was the first rap song to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100?
And this is all 90s, right?
90s, yep.
Ooh.
You're saying parents just don't understand.
Ice Ice Baby.
Ah,
I should
that
have
was
given you a
earlier.
chance to
That-
answer.
Oh, you just blew
Oh,
it.
I
You
blew it for you.
That's all right.
You weren't going to get it.
No, I wouldn't have. But that makes sense.
Yes. What actor starred in 2 of the top 10 highest grossing films in the 1990s?
Oh, boy. You're killing me on that.
You're saying Bruce Willis.
Nope.
I got no idea.
Will Smith.
Oh,
Dang it.
Oh,
Oh,
those damn movies.
In Independence Day and Men in Black.
Oh.
Of course.
How old was Notorious B.I.G. when he was murdered?
Jason, 34.
You're saying 28.
Oh, you're closer to 24.
Yeah, for
Oh.
God's sake.
This is going really good.
Yeah, I don't think he would have lived to like 30, though.
No.
I mean,
You still see like those rappers getting killed. I feel like twice a year.
Just-
They're no names.
Well,
they're
those-
people that like
yeah, the one guy last week,
yeah. Well, there was one recently.
there was actually, I think it might have been 2 during the week, but the one guy in LA was crossing the street
Yeah.
and then there was a road rage incident, and he got into an argument with a guy in a car as he's
Yeah.
crossing in the crosswalk, a rapper pedestrian.
Oh.
Well, so then the rapper got mad and jumped onto the trailer that the car was pulling,
Okay.
like a flat trailer.
Okay.
With, and the driver took off and ended up smashing the rapper in between the trailer and one of those concrete barriers, and the guy got wrapped up in the tire.
Ooh. So it wasn't even gang related or anything.
No, it was just a weirdo
Dumbass.
moment.
Oh my gosh.
But to be fair, that's probably how it's going to happen for you, since you like driving, you always get pissed off at people. I feel like somebody's
Yeah.
going to pull out a gun sometime.
Oh, is that
on you.
right?
yeah.
Road rager.
No, but I don't say it to anybody. I just say it in my car.
Oh, okay.
I've matured.
Okay.
Oh, you used to stick your head out and scream at him, lay on the horn.
Oh yeah, tailgating, the whole
Oh,
9 yards.
God.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you would hate me.
so back to some trivia.
Yeah. All right.
What year did the Mall of America open?
Jason, 1991.
Oh,
that was just a guess.
Eric, 1990.
no, 1992.
Ah!
You can't give
I
hints
know
like
you knew
that
ahead of me
either.
close. You guessed the wrong one. Oh,
You had a
okay.
50-50 shot with that one.
Okay. Let's go. What was the best-selling game console of the 1990s? Video game console, the best one of the 90s.
Eric,
Jason,
Oh, Erica's first.
Sega Genesis.
No.
Damn it.
Jason, Sony, PlayStation.
Boom. You get one.
I almost went Xbox. I got an Xbox. I almost went. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go Sony because I had one.
What was the most watched TV episode of the 1990s?
Okay. Last episode of Seinfeld.
Jason, last episode of Friends.
Nope. The last episode of Cheers.
I love that show, too.
Okay.
I got 4 Funko Pops from Cheers
Oh,
buried
no.
in there.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Disgusting.
He's a grown man. And he has like 52 toys
I
sitting
know.
over there.
Hey,
And he picked it up like at a late
yeah, I'm
age.
46. I didn't start when there was
You
not.
started at 45, though.
That's true.
Wow.
I don't know why that makes it better,
It
but
makes it. Yeah.
Picking up terrible hobbies. at an
Expensive
advanced
hobbies.
Age.
what soda's working name was Mountain Dew Killer?
Jason, Surge.
Boom.
Ow! I remember Surge.
When did Major League Soccer kick off in the U.S.?
Erickson, 1995.
Ooh, it's close to that. I saw his face.
He can't help it.
I've
He
learned.
can't help it. He winces.
Like when we do it with Ben, he keeps a stone cold face because
Uh-huh.
you never know.
That's not me.
Not Ben, not Ben Crocker, but Ben, your Ben
Oh, okay.
on the Patreon podcast.
Okay.
Between you. Shit, I forgot what he said. 1994.
Nope. 1996.
Damn it!
Aha.
50% chance.
Yes, you did what I did.
When was the World Wide Web first introduced? When was it first introduced? World Wide Web,
And this is in the 90s.
according to Google.
Jason,
I believe that's right.
1991.
Boom, you got it.
Oh my gosh.
Eric, it is 3-1.
Yeah, he's killing me.
He is killing you. When did Google search first debut? When did Google first debut?
Jason, 1991.
Nope.
I mean, that's when the internet came out.
1995.
Nope. 1998.
Oh, wow.
I was a freshman in high school when it came out, apparently.
Wow. I had a 2-year-old.
Okay. Whoa.
I love doing
nosebreathed
That's
into
so
that.
funny.
I just
He's-
nose.
Yeah, because you're younger than me.
Yeah, didn't you? Because you became a father when you were like 4, right?
Yeah, no, actually 4.5.
Michael Jordan led the Bulls to how many championships?
Eric, 6.
Boom. You got it.
Okay.
I would have
Oh,
been
wow.
so sad at you if you would have gotten that wrong. I was a huge Bulls fan.
I was going to say like 10. I'm terrible.
Okay.
Couple more. Let's wrap.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap. Okay, this will be the last one. What TV show's creator had a rule that its characters couldn't learn lessons or hug to end episodes?
What-
Eric, Larry David.
Yep, because of Seinfeld.
That's
Boom.
I was going to ask you to repeat
It's a
it.
tie. So you know what?
All right, do one more then.
No,
if it's a tie,
the tie
Go.
goes to the guest.
Oh, yes, I came back.
He did have a comeback, 3-1. Came
Were you asking for the show or the director at the end?
either one.
Okay.
I was fine with either one.
Oh, house rules over here. What the
The
hell?
guest first.
Apparently not. That's bullshit.
Clearly, Mike likes me better than you.
Clearly.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have to hang out with him all the time. So like,
yeah.
so we want to start to talk maybe a little bit deeper things, but first I kind of want to rant off something. And Eric, it's something that I heard on your show today about teens and not wearing their frickin' winter coats. What in the hell is up with that?
It was, yeah, I don't know. I witnessed it myself. 14 degrees on Saturday. I picked up a group of people with limo work to take to a dance.
Well, they're not going to wear it for a dance. They're all dialed up. Where are they going to put it?
I don't know. I guess. Well, nowhere.
Yeah.
So it was freaking freezing. So they came out of the house and they're like, oh, right away. And Dad's like, okay, let's get a picture from the front of the car. And they're like, oh, God. They're like shivering and shaking. It's all screwed up. And then the guys are better because they had like coats on.
Okay.
But the young ladies are wearing like, typical stuff you see at a high school dance.
So let's dive in this a little more. How comfortable you are with the dresses that these girls are wearing?
Oh, since I have daughters,
Yeah.
I'm like, just whatever. I treat all those whenever I have kids, I'm always like their dad. I'm always get in the
but
car.
I think it's uncomfortable.
Well,
for me.
but these were Grand Rapids Christian High School.
Oh,
So
we know
these,
they don't do anything wrong.
Well, they might, but these are well-behaved kids. I'll give them that because first of all, they didn't dress like hookers.
Yep.
So I was happy with that. And the music they listened to, they didn't listen to bad songs. Typically, they do listen to terrible music, like Cardi B or something like that.
Yeah, WAP.
The one. Oh,
Yeah,
so terrible.
it's pretty rough.
But they didn't. They're listening to
good.
Smash Mouth.
Oh,
So I put,
Jeez.
hey, now. You're
Really?
an all-star. And I'm like,
Throwback.
yes,
Yeah, throwback
yes,
to the 90s.
Christian white kids. Yes.
yeah. I don't know what it is with the coats. My daughter's 14 and she doesn't wear a coat. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah, with my son, and why it hit me because we've had so many fights, or even I'll be bringing him to school. It's cold out. He's shivering. Asked him why he didn't wear a coat. He's like, I'm not cold. His teeth are chattering. I'm like, So what is it about coats that's so uncool?
I don't know.
At some point, they will make the transition to
Yo.
wearing a coat. But what triggers in the brain? What happens in the formation of a child's brain?
My guess it's right around 16 when they start driving, and then parents are like, "Hey, you better have a coat just in case you get stranded." But
Do you do survival kit in your car?
I got some.
I
stuff.
don't either. I don't have
got-
anything.
I got a battery jumper. I got a tow cable because I've gotten stuck before.
No, I'm talking like food,
Oh,
clothes,
no.
in case hand warmers, because no one does that, but it makes so much sense.
But why though? If you're driving way up north, yes. But if you're in the city, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. You'll be able to walk to somebody's house.
Yeah, I know.
Like even that whole thing in Virginia when they had that lockdown, that Uber driver we talked about on our other show where
Right.
he like did all that. I'm like,
Yep.
just why stay in the car? Just park the thing, leave the keys in the notes, and I walked home. Like tow it wherever you want. I'm not sitting here.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Just just do that.
I always keep a winter coat and gloves and a hat in my car, but
See, and that part is the most important because I've had it where like I've had to walk in the cold because my car wouldn't start and decided to walk home and get our second car. And it was like 0. And if I wouldn't have had a coat, I might have gotten some frostbite, like a mile walk.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So you are prepared. That you said you leave a coat in there.
Yeah, I have a
glove
coat and a winter hat and gloves
But-
because you just never know.
Yeah.
But
I
I
think that's good.
Because if you get in an accident, even standing out, I don't ever wear a coat when I'm out working, or I
Right.
rarely wear one, but I always have one with me.
Okay.
So
Good.
Anyways,
So I don't know the answer to your
Okay.
question. I think that's just part of the formulation of a young person's brain. And if one kid could manage to do just not dumb kid things, can you imagine how much ahead of the curve they would be? Do you think there's ever been one young person who actually did go, I got to go get some advice from my dad, or
Oh.
I got to go talk to my mom because I
Yeah.
need to hear what they have to say about this, that, and the other thing.
yeah,
That never happens. If they
No.
did it, because we've lived it all. We've done all those stupid things.
yeah. Well, as you know, as you have older kids, they do circle back and become friends with you.
Yes.
And they're like,
I'm getting that with Jacqueline right now at 24.
Okay.
She's turning to me for a lot of things.
yeah.
And because I've hit the mark on a couple things that were correct.
Like
So
worldly stuff like a mortgage or renting or
Right.
insurance or
whatever,
stuff like
things
that.
like that.
Yeah.
But Jim, my son, because boys, I don't know, I think they do. I think that women develop their brains solidify
Yeah. He's got about what?
quicker than
What
men.
he's probably 26.
He is 26, and
He's got 4 years yet.
yeah, I would say 15 years. I think when he's like in his 50s.
Oh man.
poor kid.
He seems like he's got his ass together though. I mean, he's
Yes,
working and
yes, he does. But what I'm getting at is he still won't listen to me.
Oh, gotcha.
There's not, no matter what if he were to ask me, then perhaps, but he doesn't ask. So
Yeah.
I don't like, hey, so I got some advice. I never do that with him.
I don't either with my older.
And I also don't ask questions because all they do is lie, especially him. All he does is lie to me.
Why though? What's
I
he
don't
lying
know.
about?
He has always been a filthy liar. He's a filthy liar. I don't know why, but it's true.
It's so weird as an adult. Like, what are you lying about?
Yeah.
I mean, unless he owed you money, I could see him lying like, oh, I'm getting it to you, and he's buying bullshit on the
Right.
side. But other than that, why are you lying to your dad? There's what does it even matter?
He could be at Meijer. Hey, Jim, what are you doing? I'm at the mall.
that bad, huh?
Wow.
Well, how's that working as a relationship then?
I
don't
gave
ask.
up asking
Yeah.
questions.
See, he doesn't
I
ask. He's
just
smart.
don't ask questions.
No.
He's a smart guy.
And I just roll with it. Nothing's a problem. Nothing's a problem. We had chaos erupt at his house yesterday, and I'm like, oh,
At
hey,
his house?
no, yeah, at his house. We don't understand. I go, this is no problem. We'll just come back another time. Don't even sweat it. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Gone. Just leave, because it's too much work to try to question what's going on in their home. It's not my home.
Yeah.
It's not my place.
It's hard to do that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like you have to literally work at not doing that.
And I said to Diana, we have a pact. I go, you wall yourself off when you go in the house.
Yeah.
Everything. You're just there to hang out with the kids, love them up, and grandkids, that whole thing. And then right away, things get wonky for one reason or another. Now, when I left, I'm like, hey, no big deal. Don't sweat it. She's like this. With this look on her face.
That's triggering.
Resting bitch face.
Yeah.
And so I get from Jim a text that says, thanks for being so understanding. I love you.
Oh,
Because
that's awesome.
I did that. What does Diana get? Don't even tell me that you're mad at us about this. Because she did the nonverbal. And I said to her, I just said to you, this is your own fault.
Yeah.
You can't reveal. You can't show your hand, man.
Right.
Poker face.
Oh, yeah.
So I would do bad at that is what we've determined.
Well, through trivia, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would do bad then.
Oh, I have the worst.
Well,
ones.
yes and no. I mean, when it gets serious, though, I mean, this is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it gets serious, you might be like, oh.
Well, clearly you've done work around it. You go in there going, okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. 4 walls. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you probably would be like, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys are making me so happy to have my son who's 13 grow up. So thanks for that.
well,
Yeah, Jim, I don't know, man. I don't know if every son is like the way my son
Mine's
was.
great. We have such a great relationship.
Yeah, my son, the relationship is good, but I know what to ask.
Yeah.
So let's move even a little bit deeper because we like to have we like to talk about things that are not comfortable on this show. So we're going to get a little uncomfortable. We're going to start easy though. If you could live anywhere back up. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? And this is for all of us. We're all gonna.
Let me start.
Sure.
I don't know where exactly it would be, but I like the idea, at least right now, of like seclusion, off the grid.
Why? You
I
already
don't know.
have that. Well, you do and you don't. You are pretty connected.
I don't know. Maybe not that. I'm not so sure I would like that. But I don't necessarily want to leave Michigan. I mean,
I love Michigan.
Yeah, I really like living here. And my wife is like someplace warm. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Snowbird.
Maybe
That's what we're doing.
Maybe, perhaps that might be something like that. But I haven't. I mean, I've only lived in Michigan. Well, not take it back. I lived in Tennessee and Jersey, but only for a short amount of time. If I had to, I think I'd stay right here. I think this is where I want to live.
Okay.
Even over Tennessee, huh? You always vacation there. So
yeah, I've thought about that too, but I would only do that if like all of my family. I don't want to be apart from the people I know, in my relationships, and I don't get out that much, but still, there's no one there I know.
Yeah.
And my wife in particular is very deep relationship, so I say to her, I go, you wouldn't want to leave all our friends and stuff like that, and your family, and so I put a huge amount of stock in this area.
Yeah. I really love Michigan, other than Saturday when I ran, which it was a record since 1996. No, 1896, when Grover Cleveland was president. It was the coldest, tied for the coldest March with that date.
And you ran Saturday?
Yeah, I had 10 to do.
Oh, okay. Now you recently did the Winter Blast.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
And you're preparing for the half marathon or the 25K?
25K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had 10 to do on Saturday.
Yeah, and it was insane. Wind chill of 3.
Oh my gosh, that's tough. That's when your beard freezes.
Oh yeah, it was.
Well, lips too. Your lips you were trying to talk in that video.
Yeah,
it sounded like you were drunk because your lips weren't moving.
I didn't feel like I was. Yeah, I did a video for TikTok. I know.
Yeah,
famous on TikTok.
And apparently I sounded drunk, but I mean I literally recorded. I finished my 10, and then I took my phone out of my pouch, and apparently I sounded drunk. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, that's great though.
It was bitter.
It was bitter, but it felt good to get it done.
Okay, so anyways, your place you'd want to live though.
Oh, I mean, I think I would stay here too. I really love Grand Rapids. It's become like my home. It used to be lame as shit back when I was in high school. You didn't go downtown, by the van before the van came in 1996.
Yeah, there's something to do.
Yeah, there's something to do, and I just love it here. But I hate the winter. I'm ready to be a snowbird and go somewhere warm in the summer.
Right on.
So for me, it'd have to be somewhere with mountains. I like mountains. I think I'd love to live out in the mountains. Now, if you could find somewhere with mountains and lakes, that'd be the best. So like Colorado has some lakes with the mountains in there. I'm not sure, but something like that I think would be a little bit nice.
Have you ever taken a trip to Glacier National Park in Montana?
I have not.
You must.
Okay.
It is spectacular. You're about 10 miles south of the Canadian border. And there's
a lot of hiking.
Yeah, plenty of hiking and plenty of wildlife that you will see, and just the most majestic views you'll ever see. It's incredible.
Mike and I are thinking about doing a portion of the Appalachian Trail next year.
For how much time would you spend?
Next year?
Yeah, 2023.
We've never decided on a year.
Look at how that's new to him.
Well, and also for my wife too, who was mad when she found out I wanted to do this and didn't tell her.
We would do it in sections. Like the Georgia section is only 8 days.
Okay.
But I would have to kind of do it in November because I don't get laid off till November. So like, I don't know. It'd be weird to take 15 days off in the middle of summer to go do that.
Okay.
I mean, our business is, you only get this many days to do it and you got to get it done. So yeah, we're thinking about doing that. And at least November in Georgia isn't as cold as it is in Maine.
Okay.
Stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh,
That is exciting. That would be great.
Jason has all these like dates too. I just thought it was a someday. So
Well, I mean, someday is now. I would do it this year if I didn't have another trip planned, but
yeah. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. What is the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Oh.
I know we have to get serious, guys. I'm just messing.
Hmm.
A little uncomfortable.
I mean, do I have to name one?
What is one of the? So it doesn't have to be like the hardest. Or there's no pressure of making sure it's the hardest thing you've been through.
I mean, I think my first divorce when I was young and got married and shouldn't have got married because I knocked her up. Yeah, I don't. That was tough. There was a lot of drama through that, and I wish I could have redone that 100%. So,
What stands out to me was when my son and his now wife, when she got pregnant, that was tough. That was really tough for me. It was, and now I look back on it, it's like, oh my God, it's just a baby, for God's sake. Why was that so difficult? But our instinct was, well, we got to take care, we got to take charge, we got to make all these decisions for these young people. And then finally said, well, we don't have any say in this. It's not our baby.
Do you think it was it's fine now because they're good parents? I mean, if they were like a dirt bag, it might be more of a big deal because you could have the kid living in your house.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's part of it for sure. But I think you kind of like realize that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Once you realize that, then that's like, oh, Jesus, I shouldn't have lost sleep over this or anything. And the other thing was getting fired. When I got fired in 2016, that was horrible. It did really mess me up bad. So.
You ever look back at that time and go, yeah, I had it coming. I was really pushing the. I know there's some management change. I mean, I know all the story. I know you're not sorry for what you did.
I don't know if I necessarily had it coming. I guess so, to the letter of the law there.
Yeah. Because you had some strikes or whatever. And,
right. I'd gotten in trouble before. So, I mean, to that degree, I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about from the guys on the show. I'm just talking about from a management perspective because they clearly wanted you to go. So,
well then, yeah, I would say if it comes down to these are the rules we set up and you have to play by them. I just struggled with that. So yeah, I would say I did. But looking back on it, it's like I wasn't really happy anyway.
This guy, though, even after BBL, he's like, yeah, I could go back into radio. I'm like, yeah, do you really want to work with people? It's terrible.
Bosses? Have bosses
Why
again?
do you think I do lawn care? I'm by myself all day,
right.
And then I'm doing gig work. I mean, I'm kind of by myself. I don't really have a boss and that kind of stuff. So.
If I had a chance to do it, there would be also. I don't need it now. I don't have to do that. So there would be all sorts of. Ahead of time, like before I even turned on a microphone, I would make sure to say to people that, look, I'm just here to do the show.
Right.
I'm just a contracted person to do the show.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go do the remote for 3 hours at the phone store. And I'm not gonna go to your staff meetings. I'm gonna leave as soon as the show's over. I'm leaving. And that's it. And if I said, if you're good with that, then we're going to get along just fine. But if you're not good with that, then I'll do something else. No big deal.
So interesting.
So it'll almost have to be like a Howard Stern type of contract. Like basically I can say anything I want. You can't make me go staff meetings and all that sort of stuff.
Well, no, not so much along the lines of, I can say whatever I want. I would be like, let me do the show.
Okay.
You bring me in to do the show. I'll do a show. You're going to have to trust me. And I would, that's basically where I would go with that. But no, I wouldn't be there to, do all the shit that I would normally do at a radio station, because the playing field's changed. You don't have to.
Well, you would do it if they were paying you, $300,000 a year, but they're not going to pay you
right.
that.
No, it would be a pittance. It would be barely any money.
Yeah.
It'd be lucky if it was $12,000 a year. I just spit massively.
That's
Pardon
all right.
me. No.
COVID's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID.
That's the thing. It's not. It's so not.
It's way down.
There's like 1,000 people a day still die in the U.S.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Terry,
Dude,
Jason Gerald.
it's
So
ridiculous.
What about you? What's your, as we're laughing about COVID, what's your
I know.
toughest
So now
time?
I'm gonna try to like bring it back down. So for me, I think it was really with my wife and I. We were trying to adapt, and a couple countries kept closing, and that was just hard for us.
Closing like
Like
borders?
Yeah, well, then like saying, hey, we're not gonna allow kids to be adopted from here anymore. We were in the process with a few, and that was just one of those hardest things. Like, I'm, a person of faith, and those were moments where I'm like, God, how in the hell is this happening? Why,
Yeah.
why in the hell do these countries like we get along in the process, and then the country decides, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore.
It's weird that they're able to. Or were you working with a state organization?
No,
Is
no,
that-
we're working with different countries, and again, one was Russia, one was Ethiopia, and Russia was Putin just being Putin. Like,
Well, good thing you didn't get the Russian one.
Well, that also means there's a kid who's there in
Sorry.
Russia now, though. Who
Yeah,
is
but
there?
think of the shit he'd get right now.
Maybe,
Maybe.
but also, wouldn't it be better than being there right now
Well,
during
yeah,
this?
I'm hopeful someone else adopted him. It wasn't a cut on you, though.
Well, no.
Okay.
The country closed though,
Yeah.
so they're in country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I missing something here?
Yeah, they're still in Russia instead of being here in America.
Well, they might. I mean, how long ago was this?
Like 6-7 years ago.
Oh, they might be open now. I mean, before
They weren't.
Oh, they closed.
They still are closed.
So these people have
wow.
the young people have to live in a horrible environment.
Yeah, horrible environment. Again, and if they were male, they're part of the army. That's part of the reason why they close, is they realize if they're sending their males out to other countries, then they can't just force them to be part of the army and armed forces.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's just a couple countries, but it's just one of those where like you get hopeful and then it closes. So probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through.
Yeah,
My
that
life.
seems like a fun place.
Yeah. We'll do one last one. How would you describe freedom in your own words, Jason Terry?
I don't know. It all depends on the situation. If you talk about freedom for work,
Say freedom from Fauci.
I know I have a long beard and a hat on, but I am not that
Yeah.
person at all.
It's right.
You don't have the American flag.
What? Just because I lean to the left doesn't mean I don't love our country.
I know, but it's just like the beard.
I know.
That with the flag.
I had a hat before all this shit with Trump went down and had American flag on it. I had to stop wearing it.
People would be mean to you.
No, but I just thought I was getting judged, and maybe that was me just reflecting, and I don't know. But I stopped wearing it because I'm like, I'm not a Trumper. I'm not going around. But anyways, freedom for me is like with work, like what you are doing right now, is not having a boss. I mean, I love my bosses. I love everything about it, but having my own business where I can control everything, which comes with its downfalls too. But that would be freedom for me. But I mean, I don't know anything else. If you're talking about freedom in my own life, I'm able to do whatever the hell I want. I don't know why people say they lost their freedom when they had to put I almost dropped the F-bomb. That was the first one. Had to put their mask on.
Yeah.
I think everything you just said is I have a hard agree with all of that. And I mean, it's kind of like you took the words out of my mouth. As long as I can have the same thing you just described, and then honestly, just enough money so I don't have to worry about it. So the bills are paid, lights are on, and because that I consider freedom when I don't feel anxious. That is big to me. There's so many things that upset me, and I'm like, and they just bother me. And then it takes a certain amount of time for it to leave my soul. Just time. Could be half a day. It depends on what bothered me and how big of a problem it was in my brain.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. So what that to me is freedom.
Mm-hmm. See, for me, freedom and right at this stage of life is not caring what other people think about me.
Really?
I think for my life, I've cared a lot, as I've shared on this show with having a stutter. I have often cared what people think about me and the words I say. So freedom is growing. Like, it doesn't give, like it. I don't give a damn what people say.
You don't give it time. You do a little bit. Everyone does a little bit.
But starting to get to the point where like I really am starting not to. And like to me, like that's freedom of like just saying it and just being who I am.
Well,
so,
that's
so
cool.
it's getting there, but like to me, that's freedom. Is just whatever you can say whatever you want about me, but I am who I am. So
even being a youth pastor, that
yeah.
there's some weird things being a youth pastor.
Oh,
Hey, smile. My wife wants a picture.
oh, I think I had the awkward half up. Yes. So let's transition to mental health. We talk a lot about mental health on here. And so there's a video that Jason posted on or shared from TikTok that I thought was impactful. But Jason and I talk about mental health all the time. So we thought it'd be fun to get your view on this to see if it's impactful for you or your thoughts on this video. So he's going to play the audio here.
Just the audio.
Mhm.
And it's 59 seconds. So
Okay.
that's about as long as I can do it myself. So hang on. Let me play it. Okay.
Be honest, who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares. Not a single soul. Nobody.
No one. Because I'm all alone.
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I don't call anyone.
Nobody. I'm a guy. Nobody gives a shit.
Speaking for the guys when I say this, literally no one.
Y'all call someone?
Nobody. Just nobody. No one to talk to. So no one. You guys.
No one. I'm a man. No one cares.
No one. Not a single fucking person.
I wouldn't call anyone. I wouldn't turn to a single person on this earth because they don't care. They will just find a way to use it against me.
We can call somebody?
Be honest, who do you call when
It wouldn't be so bad if they didn't have that music.
Well, of course, that's
You
how.
should play the Benny Hill theme or
Oh
something.
yeah, it's not as impactful though. Even I was like tearing up a little bit. I was like, shit, I've watched this like 4 times and I'm still tearing up.
God.
So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. You've dealt with it in the past. I think things have settled down, and
Yeah.
you're on meds, and I'm on meds, and Mike's not on meds. But
So the question was, who do you call when you're at your lowest?
Yeah.
yeah, well, I think that TikTok portrays is that men shouldn't have to call anybody. Either A, you don't have anybody, or B, you're nervous about calling somebody because you're a man, right?
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, hell, I don't let that get in the way. I usually just either call or talk to my wife. That's it. That's who I call. Really, and honestly, I don't have a ton of other people that I would. No, I take it back. I would call my brother. I'm not like any of those people. I actually would. I do, and I don't think that there are. I think that people do give a shit. So
for you,
yeah, for me,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
and I think Mike and I feel the same way. Obviously, being on the show, we do. But do you think that's still a problem, or do you think it's getting better? Or
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
it's
you have to leave the house every once in a while. But
yeah, it's hard to say. Because you have so many people that you could possibly. I mean, if you listen to that video and believe that, you might start to believe that too.
right.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's kind of contributes to the problem.
Oh, interesting.
Because maybe you didn't think like that.
Hmm.
But if you saw a video like that, you might.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
You
that
know?
was the reason for the
I
video.
understand that.
Yeah.
But I would take that with a grain of salt.
Oh.
I would hope that people would. But
See, I think it hit me when you sent it because I know when I first went to therapy. So I was a youth pastor at a church, and a guy going to therapy, and I thought, man, people are going to so judge me.
Well, yeah.
I thought, man, like people are going to judge me because they're going to think something's broken in me, like I'm messed up. I mean, and I am, but like I'm going to finally admit like there's something messed up, and there's something that I can't fix, something that Jesus, like reading the Bible and prayer can't fix. Like I have to go see this therapist. So I was really leery of doing that. I know for me. So that's why I think that video hits. I feel like in my own experience growing up, like guys just didn't talk about the shit they were feeling and didn't talk about how they were anxious or anything like that.
okay. Yeah, and I totally can see that. But I've also had interactions with people in various circles, like with AA and stuff like that, where they do, and it's remarkable
Yeah.
when that happens. And so I don't know. Sometimes I'm a glass half full guy.
Well, honestly, before Ben Crocker was my first friend that I actually opened up to. So it kind of hurts. Before that, I didn't really have anyone either. I didn't. I mean, I had friends, but you just didn't talk about that. You talk about dicks and, well, that's weird.
Talk about dicks.
Well, like dick jokes.
Hey, man, you want to get together and talk some dick?
That came out wrong. I stopped mid-sentence. I meant to say dick jokes.
Yeah, there's that Jason again. He wants to call. He wants to talk about some dick.
No wonder no one's picking up my phone call.
There he goes again. Honey.
Well, you're also calling people. You shouldn't call people.
Yeah, well, that was back before we had text messaging. You know what I mean? But
so, anyways, so you were kind of so before Ben though, you didn't have
no.
And it was just kind of surface level.
No, and that's why I was excited to meet somebody that actually wanted to connect on an emotional level instead of just dick jokes. See, that's what it was supposed to be like.
Yep, that's what it's supposed to
But
be.
it's still fun to have that too. Like, I love that. I love having that banter and giving people shit. But I also be like, man, I am really struggling today.
Yeah.
Right on.
So you said you have that in your life now. Was that something that you always had in your life? Was somebody who you feel like no matter what you could talk to and just say, this is what's
I think it was more like I was always willing to express and not really have a barrier that would keep me from doing that. I'm very not easily ashamed or I'm not easily humiliated or embarrassed. So I pretty much just kind of would dive into things at a young age, would be willing to talk. The exception being like when you're growing up and you're trying to figure out girls. I didn't do well approaching girls. I would always be afraid of girls. But I was terrible. I think most young men are.
Like, although I was kind of a ladies' man, but I would never be able to close the deal. Like, I had a lot of girlfriends. I made out with a lot of girls in high school. Ask my wife; she always teases me about it. Every time we see somebody in Jenison, I'm like, oh yeah, I made out with her.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank God I didn't make out with Megan DeNeff, because apparently we grew up 3 doors down from each other, but we didn't really know each other because she's, I don't know, what is she, 36?
Yeah, I think she's around my age or a little bit younger.
Yeah. So we didn't kind of go in the same
different eras
in the circles. So, but yeah. My wife says that, but yeah, I never was able to close the deal because I didn't lose my virginity till 18. So,
gotcha.
So, can we take a little side note though? How easy guys have it now. I don't know if you guys remember calling like the girls home, and you have to call the home phone number, and it was usually the dad who would pick up, and you have to like talk to that. But now kids just text, and they can talk directly to the girl. I'm like, oh, you have it so easy.
Yep. That's crazy to think that they would never be able to comprehend what it was like just calling a home phone.
Yeah, and you get the
community
dad
can answer it. Everyone in the house can
it was
like,
terrible.
Shit, hang up.
I was taught, hello, Mr. So-and-so. This is, and identify yourself. Hello, Mr. So-and-so. This is Eric. May I please speak with so-and-so?
Hey, I got to admit, my daughter has a boyfriend. She's 14, so it's like 8th grade. Right. And they were at a choir concert, and he walked right up to me and said, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hi, blah, blah, blah. My name is Jason. And I thought, he shook my hand. I was like,
what in the world?
My daughter, who is getting married in November, and I love him. When I first met Justin, I said, hello, sup.
Oh,
sup.
No.
Sup. I'm like, I still never. I'm like,
oh my gosh, there's so many red flags.
Disrespectful thing. You ought to smack the shit out of you right here. Oh,
so is that something that though has gotten better with him? Like, have you guys like gotten close?
Yes, very much so. It is. We are very, very close. In fact, he's terrific. I love him to death.
But that first impression was terrible.
Was he drunk?
Justin, what are you doing? I still bring it up. I go, what were you thinking?
Oh, man? I would hang that over his head till when they have kids and all that stuff. Like, God, that's great.
You know what? Someday he will have a daughter, and some guy will say sup to him, and you know what? You can be like, see, payback.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So along mental health, and you've mentioned a couple of times, like on certain conditions you would go back to like a show on the air. But like mental health and being on the radio and the pressure, like what in the world is that like for those guys and gals as they're trying to be on the radio. There's ratings all the time. There's execs who are probably money hungry.
Yeah,
and only
yeah.
like how does that affect mental health for
Well,
those on the air?
It's interesting because I saw both. I've seen. Okay, there was a long spell where we didn't have to worry about that type of pressure because our show in Grand
Yes.
Rapids took off, and it was like that. Once we got to that point where it became like there was no stopping it.
Printing money.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So then the other side of that is when I left that show and did my own show, now you've got serious pressure and you better make it happen quickly. And that was terrible.
Yeah, because it all comes down to you.
And so, yeah, you sink or swim.
Yeah.
And being on both sides of that, swimming all the time to sinking, failure, knowing that you're failing. And then there comes a day when the management will suddenly stop talking to you.
Ooh.
They don't request you for meetings anymore. They don't. They've given up. They're
Yeah.
already looking towards the next
Yeah,
thing.
they're
and
waiting.
You're made aware of that. You're if you have any sense at all, you're like, oh,
So it's worse that they weren't talking to you than if they were talking to you.
You're a dead man walking at that point.
Ugh.
They're not just letting you go because they love what you're doing and they want just keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to have meetings with us anymore about your show.
But don't you think the BBL thing wasn't performance? It was they switched the format. It had you guys were gaining steam.
We were, but I Ben and I had gotten in a fight months earlier.
Yeah,
which
that was rough.
We cleaned that up, but at the same time, that might have had something to do with it. I don't know. I wasn't given an explanation. They said, "Oh, it's a format change," but who knows? If we were performing, they wouldn't have changed the format.
That's true.
You're
right.
That just seems crazy. Like just like even you like because you have it set up where like again you're your own boss. I'm like going back to the radio, having somebody like with like a sheet of ratings every week.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, let's talk about this.
It's horrible.
It's
horrible.
And now you have your own feedback. You lose audience members. Or you lose sponsors because of whatever. And like, that's your feedback.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not doing something right because I'm losing numbers. So
yeah,
that's all you need.
if I would say that's true. If you suddenly, all of a sudden there's no one listening, you're something's wrong.
Yeah. Welcome to our show. No one's listening.
Oh.
Let's jump into faith a little bit. We talked on when we were on your show. Maybe we did on it his show?
Yep.
We talked about Lent and how you are not going to consume sugar.
Yes.
How is that
It's
going?
good.
Is it going good?
Yeah, I've been doing it.
Okay.
I've been I've been sticking to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so far so good.
Have
I haven't
you-
gone to mass.
Okay. So that was going to be the
I
next.
haven't gone to mass.
Well, I haven't gone either. So not mass, but I haven't gone to church in a long
Service,
time. Yeah, at all.
Okay.
Like since I think the only reason I went during the pandemic because I was helping out in production.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I'm an idiot. I'm just I gotta do something. I gotta commit.
So one of the things I wanted to ask about faith, and then we're gonna wrap, is do you ever feel weird about who hears what you talk about? Especially with I know Father Ron is not your priest anymore and he's moved on.
Right.
I don't know what the priest is.
Father Colin.
Yeah. Do you ever feel weird? I mean, not weird saying stuff to him because that's his job.
Right.
But what about like even going to church? There's people in that church that listen. And
Yeah,
like,
they do.
"Sweet
They sure
Jesus."
do. And I've actually, there have been people that have questioned me directly
I'm
to my
sure.
face about and indirectly.
What, questioning if you should be part of the church.
Correct. Yeah. And I, that's a tough one. It's not really a tough one because I'm like, well, do you watch a movie that has any type of odd moments?
Language.
I mean, because that would make you a hypocrite. It would make the person a hypocrite if they and the only difference is I'm the one that's doing the content. I'm the one that's swearing like an idiot.
Yeah.
And making an ass of myself. But I like to think that when you get down to brass tacks and the realness of it, that people will be able to decide for themselves, and hopefully they'll not judge me after they talk
Well,
to me,
and
and
they've obviously, you're not like that in your personal life.
no,
so,
you'd be murdered if
Yeah.
you talk like the way I did
Oh.
on the podcast out in the street. I'd be killed in Granville. So I try to if people ever do have that discussion with me and say, hey, how do you live this double life? And say, well, it's kind of showbiz,
Yeah.
You get in there and you're acting, you're making over the top comments about ridiculous scenarios that no one could possibly think that way.
Right.
Like I called Tom Brady and said he's the worst human in the world and the asshole of the day
He is
because
asshole
he's
of the day.
retiring when he has the most beautiful wife in the world. Well, second beautiful woman I've ever seen. She's just gorgeous. And what are you doing at this point? And then he ruins it for the guy who buys the football. The guy who buys the last football,
$500,000, right?
Tom Brady ruins it for him. Screw that guy.
Tom
He's an asshole.
should give him 500.
Yes,
That's nothing.
Tom
for him.
Brady.
So I think you should give him 750,000, just a little bonus for the
Yeah.
stress he's had.
No,
over
do
the
I
last
really
time.
think that? No, of course I
not.
don't. It's a show. And so
Yeah.
that's the perfect example.
Well, actually, he maybe should give him the 750,000 or 500,000.
Absolutely, she should.
So like you talked about, like, because when we were on your show, you talked about wanting to go back to mass. Is it because you have to do the full confession that's holding you back, or what exactly
No,
is a
just
full confession
being
for
lazy.
us Protestants?
Full confession is you sit in front of, take about 5 minutes, sit in front of the priest.
I think you need more than 5.
Yes. It's a sign of the cross. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 3 months since my last confession.
Yeah.
This is what is on my mind that I know is sinful. And then you tell him.
Yep.
And so then there is, he talks to you. It's kind of like he gives you some therapy about one of those things in particular to help you. And then you say your act of contrition, you say you're sorry, and then he blesses you, and then he gives you a penance. It might be read the rosary or say the rosary. It might be random act of kindness to a person on the street.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And then you are in a state of grace. So they do that at that time because you better get to mass, and because if you don't, you're no longer in a state of grace. And if I immediately in the parking lot give somebody the finger, I'm back out of grace.
Oh,
so then,
okay.
So
basically, before you get home, you're probably going to think something like,
correct. You have to be and they encourage you to go to confession often because you're then building this good practice, and you're learning to be more careful with how you behave.
it makes sense. You go to church more, you're involved more, you do watch what you
you're
do.
thinking about God more. The more, because too often people, especially Catholics, will go in there, and then the second they leave, they're not practicing what they're was preaching.
Well, a lot of what did you call us?
People of faith in general.
Protestants.
Yeah.
I mean, those who aren't Catholic are Protestants, or they are Orthodox. But I'd say it's all Christians, because I think the worst time to wait tables is Sunday after church or mass, because everyone comes in, they're grumpy and they're not tipping. And you're like, what in the world? Like, you were just sitting there hearing about Jesus, and you decided some 16-year-old is serving you food, you're gonna be a jerk too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So that's tricky.
Yeah,
it is. So, any final thoughts as we wrap up here?
I just love you guys. I think this is the best show in the world. I think it's great.
Well, we appreciate you coming over and sitting down with us. It's probably a good break for you, and it's fun for us too to do something different.
I thought you were closer. I could have sworn you moved.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know
so sorry.
you know what Jason did, because this is the same studio. Jason actually had his house moved here. So come on, Jason, you're supposed to tell him that.
No, I wasn't. So
no.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Love.
Boom. Ooh. Yes, I did. I haven't bought recently from him.